Hey everybody, and welcome to another episode here of Tribal Trades, the daily show coming at you from the great state of Florida. One hell of a drug. And I do want to welcome you to the channel today, wherever you are tuning in from around the world. Thanks for watching. Today, the title of the show is Will Bitcoin Follow Gold? We're going to look at those charts. We're going to look at the correlation between Bitcoin and gold and see what we can find out or what may happen next in the charts as well. Before we do that, smash the like button. This does help get this channel out to more people. And of course, it does help support the channel, as does your wonderful comments that you leave below. You take the time to write them. I take the time to read them and respond. Okay, so let's have a quick look at the Bitcoin versus gold. Gold moves first, Bitcoin follows harder. So we can see just over the last 5 years here that you can actually see that when gold moves, then Bitcoin follows harder. Usually there is a 100-day lag time behind that, which would lead me to think that Bitcoin's move could be just around the corner. And it has started to make a little bit of a move, and we're going to check on that right now, in fact, in the charts. And what we do see is we are pushing above the 200-day moving average. Now, this is the big one. This is the moment. This is my line in the sand. If you watched yesterday's video, we talked about the big moments in the markets and what do we needed to see. We wanted to see a break above the tribal trades trend line, one line to rule them all. And you can see this line, this trend line resistance has held down price since January 2025. So this is a legit trend line that we have broken now above. Not only have we broken above it, we have had a weekly close above it on Sunday. And that's what I was talking about. If we saw that, what I felt was going to happen, and what I felt was going to happen is starting to play out. Okay, now what's next? Well, we saw closes above the 50-day moving average, the 200 EMA. You see I've got them beautifully marked out. We've knocked them off one at a time. The 50 EMA on the daily, the 200 EMA on the daily, the 20 EMA on the daily, the 50-day moving average. We've smashed through the 20 EMA on the weekly. And remember what I've been saying all along. The whole time I've been very consistent. You can go back when this dump even started. I said back in February that I felt this was very much felt like April 2021 dump. But then Bitcoin went on and made a new all-time high. I said I feel very much the same about this dump here. I feel it's a buying opportunity, and buying opportunity is between, and I've said it all along, the 50 EMA on the weekly here, which, you know, at the time was down around 76, 77. Now it's 78, and then 86, 800. And that was where my last buys went in here, and I was accumulating all in this area. Of course, we had the tribal trades trend line, support line, which again has been quite beautiful and held up price ever since it broke through there back in November. And then, of course, ever since we dumped back down into it, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times I was able to buy off that level, 6, 7 times. Then I bought down at the 50-week moving average when it came down to that. We'll need to move that up now. These lines keep moving up, which is great, providing support. And then we had a couple of times that we broke below the tribal trades trend line, but it was held up by the 50 EMA on the weekly and the 50-week moving average. Historically, always been good times to buy. We also have the stochastic RSI on the weekly, that the blue line has broken above the red line, and we're above the 20% level on the stochastic. Historically, that has always been a good time to buy Bitcoin. So here, I think, you know, you might ask the question, is it too late to buy Bitcoin? Well, right now, if you haven't been buying around here or around here at the 50-day moving average, you haven't been buying around the 78 to 84 area. We're now at 88. I personally would wait now until we see the 200-day moving average obliterated. I would want to think a daily close above it would be nice. A 3-day close, obviously, above it would be even better, or a weekly close would be absolutely fantastic as well. So a weekly close, obviously, and then a weekly open and close would be even better. By that time, Bitcoin could be really off to the races. You kind of feel that once we get this breached here and we get some closes above it, that those who have been waiting, because there are those investors that are more conservative and they'll wait for confirmation, okay? They wait for confirmation and then they'll be off to the races. And so I do think money is going to start to pour into Bitcoin here. Now, if we get a rejection here, if we get the Sunday candle close and Bitcoin rejects here, I'll update on Sunday. I'll be in the Discord updating as well my thoughts after the close on Sunday, and then in my video on Monday morning of what I think next for the market, because I'd have to reassess. We do really want to see we don't want to see it tested and reject here. We want to see this breakthrough, and we do want to see a close above the 200-day moving average at this point, okay? So that would be very interesting to see that. That's a ways away now. We're on Tuesday, so we've got several days. A lot can happen in the market. Look, in 5 days, Bitcoin could be, we've seen it before, could do a massive candle all the way to 99, and then we're obviously going to get that. So listen, I'm not going to be waiting for the candle to close necessarily on Sunday. It depends what happens in between. That's why I said it's too early to speculate. Let's wait and take each day as it comes. If we get a close above here, that might be enough for me to add a little bit more of a buy in there, but I'll probably want to wait until the Sunday close unless we see some kind of parabolic move to the upside. Maybe a 3-day close will be good there as well. Let's look at the yellow brick road. We're going to follow the yellow brick road. Follow the yellow brick road. We're off to see the wizard, the wonderful Wizard of Oz. And as you can see, we're coming up and tagging this 88, 89 area here that's on the monthly chart. Let's look a little bit more short term. It's usually a little bit interesting here because you kind of see there is to the upside up around the 89, but there is some to the downside. So it's kind of like a coin flip. I like now zooming out when we've been so low. I really like zooming out. You can see on the weekly time frame, there is a lot that has started to form around that 83, 84. And this is why, we don't want to have this to be a fake out. And it has been a fake out in the past when we've gone into a bear market. That 200-day moving average is crucial. In the past, when we've seen all those things line up, but it gets rejected at the 200-day moving average and begins to peel back, that has generally then gone into some very bearish circumstances there. So that's what we want to be very careful that the market makers are not pushing it up to the 200-day moving average, and then we see a massive rejection, and we could see a lower low, and we could go down a lot further down into those low 70s, high 60s there, okay? I think that is less likely, by the way. That scenario that I just described just now, I believe that's less likely, okay? For now, of course, very much got to be in trading. You need to be able to adapt, pivot, and be able to change analysis on the market based on charts. If you're in a bullish uptrend, which we are now. And of course, I believe we have made a higher high for Bitcoin on the weekly. Did we get up to 88,500? That's something that I did not check. And we've made a higher high on the daily time, on the weekly time frame. So we have now we have officially busted trend. There was that one that I said that we need to get above. We have made a higher high. So we've made a higher high. Now that doesn't, sometimes people go, oh, now it's going to keep going higher. Well, first of all, we have to wait for that higher high to finish out. And yes, it could keep going up to 90,000. But then usually there is a pullback and we have a higher low, and then that can be a great entry. So for example, we might reject off here and then we come back. Let's go to the daily, in fact, and then we come back and we might have we come back down here for a higher low. Quite often though, it would be once we breach this major area, the more likely scenario is to come up to 90, and then you finish the high and then you come back for a high low. I did get asked this question in the Discord, and I thought it was a very good question. Before you can kind of really understand where your lower high is going to be and where an entry could be, you've got to finish the move to the top. This move hasn't finished. So maybe this move finishes here at 90, maybe it finishes 92, maybe it finishes right here at 88. But let's just say we finish at around 90. That would be the more logical place for there to find some key resistance. Remember that 90 to 100,000 has been an area where Bitcoin spent a lot of time there. So there's that was support that flipped to resistance. So a pullback to the 200-day moving average would be a beautiful place, and that would be a marvelous entry on a pullback to get in at the 200-day moving average and creating a higher low there, for example. But we'll wait and see how that plays out. We were just finishing off here. You can see, let's go to the 6 month just to zoom out. And remember what I said. I said the market makers might leave this behind, and it looks like they have left this behind and will come and get it when we go into a bear market, or have just left it behind. And then we've got a lot to the upside, billions and billions and billions of dollars to the upside, all the way back to its all-time high around $110,000 there. So very interesting for Bitcoin. Now, the Tau trade that we've been watching and monitoring in the Discord, that has been the most traded coin by far, because look what the kind of gains that we have gotten since I gave this in the Discord at 2:33. We were in a live trading session with me. So in the Tribal Trades Discord, one Discord to rule them all, we were in a live trading session, and these are all recorded and they're available usually within an hour afterwards. So even if you miss it, you can watch it fairly quickly and get the tea on there and get the latest. But basically gave it here at 2:33. Okay, on Tuesday, and even though I added more to the position here, and then on the live session on Thursdays, because we do live sessions on Tuesdays and Thursdays, and then sometimes on the weekends, usually a couple of times a month on the weekends, for those who may work 9 to 5 and not able to make the live sessions with me. Of course, everything is recorded. And then we saw this huge breakout to the upside. Now, I still am in this swing trade. Okay, I have not closed it. I have a strategy on altcoins. So if you want to see what my strategy on altcoins, go back just in the last week. I have a whole video on my strategy on altcoins there. And so we are looking at Tau here. I did take some profits up here at the 20-day EMA. I believe that's the 20-day EMA up there, or it might be, actually it's the 20 EMA on the weekly is up there at around 340. So I did take some profits off the table, but I didn't close out the position. Have been leverage trading this position as well. There's been some fantastic wins in the Discord there, and so that has worked out very well. Also still in the SUI trade. This was also one we did in the live trade session. I gave 3 in the live trade session. It was SUI at $2.10 here in the live trade session. Let's go to the daily actually chart. So this $2.10. And that's turned out to be an absolutely beautiful area. I did add some more at $2.07, and that's taken up, and now we're above the 50-day moving average, which is at $2.30, and I think we could continue to see some more upside there for SUI. So that trade has absolutely gone fantastic as well. And the Ondo trade that I gave at 81 cents, and that has up absolutely fantastically there. 81 cents on the button right there. Gave the trade, and that actually reached all the way up to 89 cents. Actually, we've been trading Ondo in the Discord between 81 and 89 cents, buying at 81, selling at 88, getting in at 81, selling at 88 there again. So that's been a fantastic trade that we have been trading together in the Discord. But Tau for sure has been the star of the show. Remember, Potenza Tau is a blockchain. It is an AI blockchain. I've used it before. It's fairly quick. It's fairly inexpensive. And of course, it only has 21 million tokens. Just like Bitcoin, there is a limited supply. It's mined like Bitcoin. Only about half supply is out at the moment, and it has its own halving. Its own halving, I believe, is November 2025. And so this has been one that I am going to continue to hold. And what I hope from here is if Bitcoin continues to break out above the 200-day moving average and then goes on and makes a new all-time high, I believe Tau will go on and make a new all-time high. Its current all-time high is around $700 or $800, so I think that could get over $1,000, maybe even to $3,000 if Bitcoin does go and make a new all-time high. And I will stay in the swing trade and ride it all the way to the top there. So I'm not getting out of it. I'm just taking profits. And of course, I'm leverage trading Tau as well. So I'm in double profits because I'm making profit on the swing and on the leverage. You can learn how to do all of that in the Discord. We even have a leverage lounge aka the party zone here. You can see that's alive and kicking this morning with tons of activity there. We have our wins. People are stacking up the W's here, as you can see, incredible, even this morning and through the night there, the party zone. And we have a bunch of other stocks channels, crypto plays where I share setups every day. So make sure if you'd like to join in the Discord there is a link below. You might need to click the more button that will pop out the description. There's the link there. You can get started in the Tribal Trades Discord. I'm also in the Stocks with Josh Discord. I have my own Crown Traders channel in there where I share education, resources, insights in my trade setups, and of course, entertainment, because this is not financial advice. I am not a financial advisor. This is for education and entertainment purposes only. Are you not entertained? And with that, we run out of time for today. So until the next episode, or until I see you in the Discord, happy trading.